A common pitfall I see with respect to taking action is either rushing into things and regretting later, or completely withdrawing, retreating, and just waiting or procrastinating. So, in both the cases, the question which came up was how to discern when it's actually premature and when it's rushing, and when is it too long of a wait, and when is it time to jump into action, and when is it time to leap into it and step into our bold expression of it. Basically, when is it time to implement on our inspiration? Which leads me to the first question I have to discern with respect to rushing. Are you trying to act on every single thought or impulse? This is something I suffered a lot with because the impulse felt like just get out and make things happen, just get up and do it. And it felt very real. The energy was there. There was a lot of energy. But the question is it right for me? That's why the discernment piece comes in. And we're able to see it clearly when there's it's a level of grounding or stillness within. Because there's a difference between acting out of temptation to make something happen, or it being a natural expression where the doing just happening without even thinking about it, like just drawn to it, or just feeling called to it. It's a very subtle difference. And it took me a long time to notice this difference, but it makes a big difference. The next question is, are you reacting to someone? Like, is your action based on, or is your action a reaction from someone external or something external which triggered that action in you? Again, the piece here for the discernment is it just like, oh, someone said something and it immediately sparked or triggered something and just jump into action? That's again rushing. The piece is to, each one has their own thing, but take a couple of minutes, or some people take days to sit with it and discern if this is the right thing. Do I have energy for it? Does it feel right to me? The next is, are you acting out of the mental pressure in order to gain clarity? There's this common saying that you will gain clarity only through action. Only as you do it, you will get to know. It's totally true, but is that the sole purpose? Like, if it's coming from a place of right now I'm confused, I have a lot of doubts, and to clear that confusion and doubt, I'm going to take action. That could be rushing into it, because we are trying to relieve a pressure through action, which can potentially lead to more pressure and more confusion and more chaos if it's not right for you. Next, are you trying to prove yourself by taking action? This has been a big one for me. This attempt to prove my worth, because not doing is not common in today's world. We are in a very busy world where it's all about busy, 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 keep doing, and keep doing things continuously. And in that, we might often get derailed or out of alignment and continue in that. Chasing worth, to feel worthy. Like, is that action associated with you feeling worthy? Then that's something to be aware of. Because action should come out of your worthiness and not the other way around. It should come out of that inner sense of, yeah, I have it. I already have it. Therefore, I'm doing it. So it's coming from that place of being rather than doing in order to get that opposite. Next is there any agenda that doesn't align with your true self, your empowered self? And this question kind of encompasses all the other questions before this. Is there any agenda behind this action? I mean, this agenda piece itself it's like a very clear demarcation on line that potentially that thing is not the right thing, or maybe the timing is not the right now, because there's an agenda attached to it, with which comes an expectation, which then distorts the doing. And again, it's not about have zero expectation and live in that way, but you get the point. It's the energy behind the action. What's the quality of that energy behind the action? When I look back, the most empowering actions didn't come when I thought about how things will go or wasn't super planned and all. It just feels right and you do it, irrespective of the doubts or whatever it's coming up in the mind. It's that inner knowing which drives you rather than the other stuff, be it doubt or external pressure. With that, we wrap up for rushing. I have some more questions for inaction or procrastination. First question is, what are you avoiding confronting? What confrontation or what's the truth that you're avoiding? This is less about external conflict with someone which you're avoiding, and more so this question came from my past experiences where I avoided confronting my own truth, my own fears, the fear of consequences of that action, even though that I'm feeling called to do it, but I'm afraid of the consequences. I'm worrying about hurting others. I'm worrying about being seen as a failure, or consequence of unable to handle whatever happens with that action, that is, be it success or be it the responsibility which comes with it. So all those fears really show something. That's the root behind the procrastination in the first place. Yeah, the word confronting might, at least to me, sounded like a bit terrifying, and it did cause unease in my body as well. But as I started doing it, it was very pleasurable to confront or to see face to face, like what's really happening here, because once we see it, like once the shadow is brought to the light, it's no longer a shadow, and it doesn't bother in the way it used to bother back then. The grip of it kind of gets loosened over time as we keep shining the light, as we keep seeing our own truth. So it's something very pleasurable and definitely recommended to take some time and journal about it. The next is, do you feel exhausted? And this is not like, oh, I did great work and now I'm feeling exhausted. That's great. This is more about a prolonged exhaustion without even doing anything or doing much. So this is more about energy alignment, where the energy is leaking, because not doing is also a doing, which could leak energy if the being of that not doing is not aligned. Like if you are in a state which drains energy, environment which drains energy, the food we eat to what we consume, all of them matter. Next I wrote is, what are you hiding about yourself? And this is similar to the first question of confrontation, but this question came more from hiding our truth from others. There are some truths which we are able to see for ourselves, but there's a fear from openly sharing it with others. And I'm not talking about spilling out the secrets, but it shows the level of confidence and how much we own our truth. If we own it, then there's no hesitation to share it. Again, this immense pleasure in doing that. Not saying just blurt out your truth and hurt others. There's immense joy and empowerment in speaking your truth. When the timing is right, when the situation is there for you to respond, something to be aware of when there's an opportunity to speak our truth. The last question I have is, can you see the value of your own uniqueness? And this is a common question. So this question was especially powerful because it revealed the power behind my own uniqueness, because so long I was trying to fit in and the common strength of successful people, I was trying to chase that instead of seeing what's here. And my action back then was oriented or directed towards that, towards those common strengths or the common skills which successful people have or the society asks you to learn. The beauty is when we come back here and when we start following our joy and excitement, it's not like completely living your uniqueness is not like, oh, you're just completely on a separate path, which I thought it was. It isn't really. There are a lot of union and common paths between people, but the flavor is very unique. So it's not like do something completely different. So the way you do it will be in your own way. The difference between the action oriented towards sameness versus action which comes naturally through you. We're learning things which are common in the world, but in our own way. It's all about trusting that unique flavor to pour out of us naturally, because it's already there. Took me a long time to, I did realize it in a way, as in theoretically, but feeling it and embodying it is completely, it gives a real sense of empowerment to live your uniqueness in that way. And I wish that for all of us. With that, see you in the next one.